biggest challenges were protecting the customer property to make sure there's no operational disruption due to the pandemic, while we have to ensure the safety of our staff at all times. We also faced the challenges of the supply chains as well, because we are the market leader with the sector. So we have seen a huge increase in demand for our products and services. You see around the pandemic, causes many troubles, for example, travel restriction, and we don't have enough raw material for production. So that's why it's actually affected our marketing material activities as well. And the next thing is in terms of the marketing perspective, the brands in the sectors have increased the email marketing volumes. So that's why you see, right, it leads to the increase in the number of emails the customer has to receive on a daily basis. And it means that, email marketing is harder for us to compete because, we have to pitch a message to the customer at the time when there are many brands in the limited screen space, for example, the laptop or mobile only. So, we have to make sure that we have the right message at the right time, and also the right subjects are very important to make sure there are high open rates. In many ways, to be honest, because right now, well, we now aim to do everything digitally, to reduce the physical interaction as much as we can. Luckily, at Rentokil, over the past few years, we already transformed our business operation from paper to paperless, the first thing, because we adopt digital transformation. And the second thing is that, we adopt cloud and also integrate data as well to make sure we can create seamless communication with the customers. And the second thing is that we have to adopt remote working. Our teams have to work from home now, so they have to be more proactive and able to work alone while making the best use of communication technologies. What I have to say is safety first. We have to make sure that our frontline colleges are fully equipped with the essential protection. The journey from going to work to returning home had to be safe, not only for them, but also for their family as well. And we had to look after the staff health and well-being, especially right now when the social interactions reduced. For example, at Rentokil, we partnered or we collaborate with Layer Healthcare to provide our staff with a employee assistance program to make sure that they can get the support whenever they need it. That's the first thing. The second thing is that is on about the communication. Clear communication and comprehensive instruction for the customers and also staff are important. It's because we need to let them know how you operate during the pandemic and also before and after the pandemic. This is the top priority to maintain the customer relationship, clear communication and comprehensive instruction to keep them updated on how you operate it. The third one is that, for example, right now the company needs to revisit all the strategy and also the risk assessment as well. The current situation is unprecedented. Business need to adapt their strategy and also priority to meet the current challenge and also, so that they can achieve the business objective. So for the advice, I would advise, for example, the company should follow the 80-20 rule and don't be afraid to say no to things that are not in their priority to help them achieve the business objective. You know what I mean? And if the strategy that we set up before the COVID-19, right now they should revisit it with an extra action plans to succeed through uncertainty. And the next one I would advise the companies is that, for example, it is more important than ever to understand the customer priorities. You know why? For example, I would say many companies under financial pressure, is it correct? And then, for example, they tend to be more careful when making purchase decisions. In addition, a reduction in physical interaction means an increase in what? In, for example, all the relationship or all connection will be built virtually. So it means to understand the customer priorities is very important to help you close the deal. Remember, many companies has to, postpone many projects and also switch their priorities to cope with the current situation. So before the COVID-19, understanding the customer pain points was important, but due to COVID-19, to win their heart, you need to understand the customer priorities because they have many things. Now they have to narrow down to 3 things only. And the next thing is that, as I mentioned before, right, it probably takes the customer longer time to make decision. And if you run the drip campaign, you have to make sure that you add additional touch points, to make sure that you can lead them through the final stage, right? And the other thing I would like to advise the company is to go digital. The thing is that, for example, If digital transformation is your strategy or your priority, I think this is the perfect time for you to test it out. You know why? Because, for example, digital transformation, I just want to say like a reduction in human interaction or physical interaction means increase in digital or virtual demand. Digital transformation enhance what? Enhance data collection, which in turn enable you to what, to, for example, you can get the customer data insights, and also from the customer data insight, you can orchestrate it, strategic direction as well. We have seen many companies, for example, successfully transform their operation and also the way they communicate with the customers to sell products and services. And at Rentokil, we enthusiastically brought out digital transformation. So over the past few years, we actually transform the way we operate to increase productivity and enhance customer experience as well. This next thing I just want to talk about is actually the brand image. During the pandemic, company understandably aim to contribute to the fight against the COVID-19, right? But they have to be careful with their advertising strategy, or because to make sure that they not be seen as opportunistic, even when they're acting, for the good reason. But if they didn't do it carefully, people, when they perceive the brand, they will think maybe this is trying to advantage of the situation. And as a result, the brand image will be damaged as well. And the last, finally, if your company involves supply chain, you should have, you should map the entire supply chain to have a bigger picture so that we can make executive decision or onto the solution, in real time. And the second thing is that because the current situation is we don't know, everything is uncertain, so you should consider using the company or service that have digital solutions to reduce physical interactions. I have to say to some people, making a backup plan is vital when running a marketing campaign, but it has not always been the case for me, to be honest. Because I used to think that making a backup plan, I'm going to say, reduce the ability, to achieve the goals, the first thing, and also reduce your commitment to a goal as well, and you underperform as a result. But with the current situation, when everything is uncertain, right? So that's why I really think that making a backup plan has actually become more vital or essential. Right? For example, suppose you believe that running a marketing campaign can help you to achieve 10% of sales, but the virus cases certainly increase and you don't know you can control it. So as a result, supply chain, this affects the first thing. The second thing is that travel restriction. So if you run the campaign, you don't have enough stock, and it means you can fulfill the customer demand, and as a result, you can achieve the overall objectives. So in this case, or in this scenario, when the pandemic is an evolving situation, having a backup plan is very essential for any marketeers. I think so.